Hello people, I'm MPage, and remember when I said I wanted to make some videos where I showed off some stuff about voting and taught seriously? Well, it turns out a good chunk of my job's already done for me because of one little website, so I'm going to do this short little video to show you this website. It's called vote.org, and if you're in the United States, this website has pretty much everything you need to learn how to vote and stuff. You can check if you're registered to vote, register if you haven't already, and even get absentee ballots. Let's go over some stuff you can do on the site. I'm going to go through it myself with my stuff. One thing you can do is check your registration. And with a lot of these, you're going to get like a form that'll appear at the top of the page like so. You can use these at any time to give them your information and they'll pass along to the appropriate party and they'll send information back to you. But if you don't really want to fill out an online form and give your personal information to some stranger on the internet, that's fine. That's a total reasonable thing to feel. You can scroll down and then you can get information and access to other sites based on where you live and what you need to know. So I'm in Michigan. Let's see if I'm registered to vote. It takes me straight to the Secretary of State website for Michigan, and it's the official one, none of that weird other crap. So from here I can click Am I Registered? And then I give them my information and then search by name. And boom, it says I am registered in this particular county and there's a primary coming up. So that's pretty cool. A lot of this might be blurred out for you, but that's because I do not want to dox myself. But you kind of get the idea. So now we know that I am registered. But what if we're not registered to vote? Well, we can do that too. So we click register to vote. Again, there's a form that you can pass along, but let's say let's say I want to vote in Michigan. There's all these different states, including DC. I'm gonna pick Michigan because that's where I live. Scroll past the form. It gives us deadlines. Like if you want to submit a voter application through a voter registration drive, or if you want to register to vote online or by mail, then you'd have to do it 15 days before the day of the election. Otherwise, you can do it on the day of the election up until 8 p.m. if you do it in person. But that's just Michigan. Other states may have different deadlines. And each state has different rules on how to register. In Michigan, I have to be a United States citizen, at least 18, and be in Michigan for 30 days, and not be in jail. They give me stuff about the local election office, where the polling place is, tracking absentee ballots to make sure that you actually vote if you do get an absentee ballot. Speaking of absentee ballots, that's what I'm gonna go over next. In some states, if you don't want to vote in person, you don't have to. You can just request an absentee ballot. Whereas some states will only let you do this if you are older, are going to be out of town, or if you have a permanent disability. Of course, every state has different guidelines and regulations. So if I go to Michigan once again, for me, it says that I can request an absentee ballot no less than 4 days away from the day of the election. And if you vote on a ballot, it is due by the time the polls are closed. So the rule for Michigan for applying for an absentee ballot is anyone can have it as long as you fill out an application. Instead of filling out one application, they just send you one every time. They send you a ballot every time. They ask you to fill out an application every time so that you get the ones for your election. Again, different states may show different things. Some of these have their own tools on the website that you can use, while others you can just, where they can just take you straight to the appropriate website for your state. Like this is Michigan Secretary of State. If I voted absentee, I can look at my information in here and it'll tell me where my ballot is and see if they received it. And if you're somehow watching this and you're not an adult and you can't vote yet, then you can pledge to register. All this is you give them your cell number, and by the time you turn 18, they will send you a text message saying it's time to vote. And of course, I'm just showing you the stuff that I do as a person of Michigan. And results may vary in terms of information and laws and regulations and resources depending on what state you live in. So if you want to know any of this stuff, like if you're registered to vote, how to register to vote, and how to acquire an absentee ballot in your state, just click the link below. Log on to vote.org. And I am not affiliated with vote.org. I do not make money from this. They haven't even talked to me. I'm just pointing this out because since elections are coming up this year, I think this is a really incredible, invaluable resource for people in my generation to have if you need to know anything about voting. And that number at the top, that's very important. Everyone has the right to, everyone that abides by the laws and regulations has a right to vote. And if you call that, and if someone's trying to stop you for any reason because of your beliefs or because of the color of your skin or because of your upbringing or anything, call that number because voter suppression is real and it needs to be stopped. But anyway, that's enough rambling about voting stuff for now. I will try to make a proper video soon, but until then, thank y'all for watching. Register to vote. Check you later. Peace.